Oh, what's up, fam bam? Happy Friday. It has been, I'm not gonna say an awful week, because I know that there are folks who didn't make it, folks that didn't wake up this morning. There are people in worse off situations than mine. So I'm not gonna say it's been an awful week, but it's been a trying week for me. Now, I had told you guys, I've been and talked to y'all because y'all family. You know, you my fam. So, you guys knew that I had been frustrated with administration at my previous job. And I moved on when my homegirl, who's a speech therapist, says, hey, this facility is awesome. I think you would do a great job managing the therapy team here. And y'all know I had got that job. I was excited about it, right? Now, there were questions like that I had because it seemed too good to be true. A lot of the things that weren't required of me as a director of rehab. Oh, look at that pretty horse. I work in the country. So anyway, there were things that like productivity percentages that I didn't have, and I kept asking during the interview process, all these things that are not required of me, you guys must like, it's got to be something to this. There's something to this. Do you have crazy reports that I got to keep sending? How come my productivity doesn't have to be so high? And why don't I have this report to do? Just things just, it was so good. The administrator was good. The team there was nice. One day I am going to sit down and do a video to discuss with you guys the differences between occupational therapy, physical therapy, speech therapy, and then explain to you kind of how the Medicare system works, as well as different insurances. I want to talk to you about nursing. I want to talk to you about a lot of stuff, especially income, so that maybe you guys can have a better understanding of, and I'm no shade, so that you guys can have a better understanding of hearing a nurse when a nurse tell you that they make $100,000 or six figures. I can tell you how that's really not hard in the skilled nursing industry, at least in Chicago, in big major cities. It's not hard to do. So fast forward to now that I am, let's say 3 weeks in to working at this facility, and now everything is starting to come to pass as to why I'm not required to really treat a lot of patients. And the things that were so sweet, I'm starting to see why. I'm gonna put it to you like this. Since I've been here, we have probably flipped and rotated 30 patients in the 3 weeks that I've been here. Mind you, I have an administrator that requires, now typical Medicare guidelines, this is why I have to do a video on this for those in healthcare. Typical guideline for Medicare patients that come into an establishment, you basically have 3 days to get an eval done on them. If you're in therapy, 3 days. Here, the administrator requires 24 hours. So that's kind of hard when I don't have enough staff. I'm already covering almost 40 patients right now getting therapy services, and I got staff that has been nothing but motherfuckers to me during the process. I have now went from a facility where my team would be like, hey, let's get these patients evaluated, let's get them seen. Mika, you need me to work a few extra hours, boom, I don't care, let's get it done, boom, boom, boom. To now I'm in a very much so facility that is, the therapists are, oh, I can only do 2 evals today. Oh, I can only see 1 patient. oh, I don't treat this patient normally. Oh, I don't treat that patient normally. Never in the years that I've it feel like almost 10 years that I've been doing therapy. And then prior to that, nursing, I've never been able to go up to my director at no place and say who I can and can't treat, who I don't work with and all this. You guys, I say all this to say, because I don't try to make long videos, because I know as humans our attention span is not up to par, and if you ain't talking about nothing that interests somebody, they don't want to hear the shit. I say all of this to say, I put in my 2-week notice yesterday. I know I will be okay. I work enough PRN, and I'll explain what PRN means too. Basically, I work full-time at one company, and then I work PRN, which means as needed. I'm a per diem therapist at like 4 of the companies, meaning they'll call me if the census gets high and say, hey, can you come over here and treat and see these patients at this place, that place, boom. So I do enough of that to where my bills are covered. I don't have to worry about my mortgage, but it's more so full-time for me is because I just want my benefits, my insurance, paid time off, things like that. Now, you know it has to be bad if I gave a 2-week notice and don't even have another full-time job lined up. That's how damn bad it is. Now, the point that I'm trying to get around to is, because sometimes I hate going to my mom and fussing and crying to her about my frustrations, because for her, she's very big on, well, you just gotta suck it up and deal with it. It's gonna work out. It's gonna work out. And it's easy when you on the outside looking in, telling someone what they can handle when you're not in the midst of it. Also, my family is notoriously tied up on titles. So for them, when they hear the words therapy director and all that, oh, that sounds amazing. Oftentimes we as black people are so hung up on titles, and oh, she's a therapy director, so stick it out and deal with it. I don't care nothing about titles. I care about my money. I care about my money, and I care about maintaining my sanity. So another thing that I know strikes a nerve when I think about it is the fact, like, my family was so hung up on titles that when I graduated from high school, I started out, oh Lord, the 2 things that all black folks tell their children, especially girls: you got to be a nurse or a teacher, nurse or a school teacher. So initially I went to nursing school at a prestigious, I went to Loyola University, and at the end game, I didn't even want to be a nurse. And when I really think back over, I would have gone to a HBCU in a heartbeat. And no, it's not because of Beyonce done put out. No, I loved what HBCUs were about, but my family was so not into that. And I was so big on not wanting to disappoint my family. Like, I could cry when I think about it, because you just want to, I just want to make them proud. So I did a lot of things that I didn't want to do. And if I could do it over, I would have gone where I wanted to go to. Hell, if it was up to me, I would have went to, in high school, I would have went to a performing arts high school. And it's just, we are so set in our ways with certain things as black people. And I just want people, I'm doing this video to say, you have to live for you. You have to do what's best for you, for your sanity. You got to do what makes you happy, because it's you that has to work that job. It's you that has to go to that school. It's you that has to live your life. And I just want you all to make sure you support your children and their endeavors. Talk to your children, communicate with them on what it is that they want to do with their lives. Don't be so quick to like tell them no, or to get hung up on titles. Look at what they excel in and work from that. Don't get hung up on the normal, the traditional careers. You got to be a nurse, you got to be a school teacher, don't get so hung up. Look at what their strengths are and build from there, because it is a hurting thing for a child to then spend their life trying to please their family or their parents, yet being unhappy by the time you make it to adulthood because you're not happy with some of the decisions and choices you made. Now, granted, I love healthcare. I was always going to do some kind of healthcare. I just didn't know what. I love the world of therapy, don't get me wrong, but I'm over healthcare at this point. I am over healthcare. I'm tired of it all. Healthcare is the biggest crooks in the game. And I'm tired of what I'm seeing every day. I not only deal with patients, I deal with patients on top of they family members. I deal with physicians every day. I deal with nurses and aides all throughout the day. Then I got to deal with my own staff all day. And it's just, I'm just venting, y'all. I'm just venting because I'm tired and it's been a lot. And again, live for you. Don't live for anybody else. Don't get hung up on titles. Do what's gonna make you happy. Do what's gonna pay your bills. Do what you can be as successful as you want. As I get older, I'm getting to where I don't want to be up working on a schedule. I didn't go to bed till 1 o'clock in the morning this morning. You get older and you want to get away from. You want an easier life. And it's like, I came over to this new position, and this is probably the most challenging position of my career, and that's simply not what I was trying to do. I work smart, not hard, and I'm over it. I'm over it. So you guys gotta just live for you. Do what's best for you, and don't try to live for nobody else at all. That's all I'm saying. So this video is getting too long. I love y'all. Happy Friday. Have a wonderful holiday weekend. Do good to others, and definitely do good by yourself, okay? Definitely do good for yourself and to yourself. Mwah.